Tonight on Cys Eyes on the Skies.
I'll have a look at your weather around Iowa as we got temps down in the 50s to the south, with temps in the 30s to the north near that low pressure that's creating some snow up in Minnesota. I'll have more on this later in the show. Head back to Hunter.
Plus, Rachel has your national forecast. All that and more on this Tuesday, April 13th edition of Cys Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Live from Studio 171 in Ames, Iowa, the Iowa State Meteorology Department team of meteorologists brings you the latest weather from around the country and out your front door. Iowa State's longest running television program and the only live weather broadcast on campus starts right now. This is Cys Eyes on the Skies.
Welcome back to Cys Eyes on the Skies. Now I'm joined by Lucas. So it's been pretty windy these last few days, correct?
Yeah, it's been tough to keep my hair together.
Yeah, I had to go get my hair cut too. It was getting a little windy out there.
I don't want to cut my hair, so I had to use some gel today.
Perfect.
As we take a look at the satellite radar around the state, like I said earlier, we got the snow up in Minnesota, which is creating some cloud cover for the very northern part of the state. Otherwise, it's clear and sunny for the rest of the state, as those temperatures sit right in the 50s.
And now it's time for tonight's weather story. This week in weather history, 9 years ago tomorrow, on April 14th, 2012, a date that's fairly familiar for a few people in the Midwest, most of Iowa was issued a slight risk of storms, and in far west Iowa, a moderate and high risk was issued for severe storms and tornadoes. Around 5 p.m., the small town of Thurman in south central Iowa was impacted by a large half-mile wide EF2 tornado, as well as 5 other tornadoes throughout the state. Even though we aren't expecting this kind of severe weather anytime soon, it is tornado season again. It is important to review your plan when severe weather or severe storms arrive and where you need to be to stay safe. And now, here's Rachel with a look at what's going around the country.
Thank you, Hunter. So it looks like we have a little bit of everything going on around the country right now. Winter's still hanging on in the north, and it looks like we got a little bit of summer happening in the south. I'll have more on that soon.
Welcome back. Now here's Rachel with a look at what's happening around the nation.
Alrighty, like I said earlier, there's a little bit of everything going on. It looks like the snow temperatures up in Minneapolis, which Luke alluded to earlier. But as far as severe weather goes, there's been some flooding and there's mostly river flood warnings and general flooding happening in Louisiana with the system that's going through there. It looks like far out in New Mexico and Arizona, we have some fire weather warnings and a winter storm up in Wyoming and Colorado. And more on that severe outlook for today, actually. The risk is mostly diminished by now, but there is a bit of a bullseye of slight risk in Texas and a little bit into Louisiana. But that's mostly moved on to flooding from any of the other modes of severe weather. Futurecast, we're going to watch as that severe weather threat diminishes and some rain moves in, and also there's a bit of snow up in Canada and Minnesota. By Wednesday, 6 a.m., that's on its way out, and the weather seems to warm a little bit up there. If we look into the mountains, we have a little bit of snow still happening in the higher elevations, but that's kind of standard for this time of year. Forecast highs for tomorrow around the country, 44 in Minneapolis, 60s and 70s in the south, almost 80 in Miami, and Texas also almost 80. Pretty standard springtime stuff we have. Looking at San Diego, California, pretty nice weather out there. I'm a little jealous here in Iowa, but 60s going up into 70s and 80s by the weekend. Sunny skies and perfect beach weather for the folks out there. Thank you.
Now to our weather question of the week. When is the official start of meteorological summer? A, June 20th, B, May 25th, C, June 1st, D, May 15th. We'll have your answer coming right up. Now let's have a look at this week ahead with Lucas.
As we take a look at the sky cam out there in Ames, good old Ames, Iowa, you can see the sun starting to set out in the west. I don't know why the camera's angled like this. It could have been a bird that hit it, but clear skies, little clouds to the north, and it's looking pretty pleasant out there. Look a little more on the weather after the break. Welcome back to Cys Eyes. I'm here with your Iowa forecast. Let's take a look at the current conditions out there. Good temperature, just under 50 degrees at 49. Winds pretty strong out of the west-northwest at 17. Feels like temperatures at 43 with a dew point of 21 right now. As we take a look at the headlines for the week, we got a possible freeze tonight with temps dipping close to 32 degrees. A dry week ahead and highs in the mid-50s for much part of the week. Let's take a look at the temperatures again around the state. We got those 30s up to the north with very, very similar temperatures from north to south as we go to the 50s, very low 50s to the south. Take a look again at that satellite radar. We got nothing going on pretty much for much of Iowa except for a little cloud cover to the north. As we take a look at the Midwest radar, we got that low pressure sitting right above southeastern Iowa or Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, with temperatures down in the 50s in Iowa and cool 30s up in Minnesota as the further north you go. You got that snow occurring right now. Take a look at the future cast for temperatures. Wake up tomorrow morning in the low 30s, close to freezing. Definitely see the freeze more toward the northwestern part of Iowa. As we move on to that tomorrow afternoon and evening, we got temperatures just around 50 degrees. Might break 50, but very tough too. Got those 50s down in the southern part of Iowa. Move on to Thursday morning. We got low temperatures in the 30s again, a little warmer than tomorrow morning. Shouldn't see a freeze Thursday morning, but something to keep an eye on. As we move on to Thursday evening, got similar temperatures to tomorrow, as temperatures right around that 50-degree mark. As we look at the wind for tonight, that will really die down into the overnight hours, as you got winds right around 6 miles an hour in Ames. The highest wind speeds 12 up in Spencer. Let's move on to Wednesday morning. We got the winds picking right back up to where they were today. Those strong gusty winds out of the northwest, they're going to cool down the temperatures as we move on throughout the week. And as we move on through Thursday, those winds will die down again overnight and pick right back up Thursday throughout the day. As we look at future cast, pretty much nothing going on for our neck of the woods. Got a bit of cloud cover throughout the area, but it shouldn't be full overcast. It's just going to be some partly cloudy skies for much of the rest of the week. As we look at the week ahead, we got steady temperatures right in the mid-50s. A little cloudy this weekend, but we shouldn't see any precipitation until later past next Tuesday. Should be a good week if you want to get outdoors, go golfing, maybe some frisbee golfing.
Now back to our weather question of the week. When is the official start of meteorological summer? A, June 20th, B, May 25th, C, June 1st, and D, May 15th. So what do you think the correct answer is, Lucas?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe June 20th. Isn't the 21st right around there usually the start of summer?
That would be the summer solstice. It's a pretty good guess. It's the one that a lot of people are fairly familiar with, but it's actually June 1st.
Oh, that makes sense. It's meteorological summer, not the summer solstice.
Absolutely. All right, so then the correct answer, again, was June 1st, just right at the beginning of the month. All right, that concludes tonight's show. Please make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show on YouTube under Cys Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you Tuesday.